Let us learn about the constructor. Already we have seen different type of constructors. Now let us write the code and check. So this is a rectangle class which already I have used in the previous example. It's having all the functions like accessor, mutators, and also area and perimeter functions, that is facilitators. Now we will learn about the constructors. Before writing any constructor, first of all I will try to create an object of rectangle in main function. Object rectangle is created. I did not get any message that there is no constructor, I cannot create an object. I did not get any such message. Shall I call area? Let us say r1.area. Yeah, it's working. There is no error message. Without setting length and breadth, how I can call area? I did not set any length and breadth. Let us run the program and see what is the output. So without setting any area, I am getting the answer as 0. It means the length and breadth are set to 0. So how this object is created first of all? So there is a default constructor provided by the compiler which is creating an object. So can we declare our own constructors which will create an object? Yes, we can. So let me push down the code a little bit so that I can write down constructors here. So let us write a rectangle constructor which doesn't take any argument, and let length assign 1 as well as breadth assign 1. As we decided that by default we make length and breadth as 1. So yes, this is a rectangle and it is a constructor. Let us see, can I give a return type to this rectangle? I will write void. I got an error message. Constructor cannot have return type because this function is having the same name as class name. This is treated as a constructor by the compiler, so I cannot have a return type. Yes, we already know that. Now this is a constructor. When I have given my own constructor and when I am creating an object of a rectangle, then which constructor will be called? So the default constructor given by the compiler will not be called. Our constructor will be called, which is not taking any arguments. It's not taking any arguments. Yes. Let us run the program and see what should be the area. See, this area, when it is called, it should display 1 into 1, that is result is 1. Yes, area is 1, so it's working. So this is one of the constructor. Can we write other constructor, that is parameterized constructor? So I will copy this code and just paste it to make the work easy. I have one more constructor, and this constructor should take some parameter, integer length and integer breadth, and here I will directly assign L and B. Now one important thing, this length and breadth can be negative also. So okay, let us better take the help of setLength and setBreadth functions. SetLength, let us call this function and pass this L because they know better how to set the length and breadth. They know that length and breadth cannot be negative. So I will call this function setBreadth. Yes, this should work now. So I have two constructors. One is default constructor, that is non-parameterized constructor, and other one is parameterized constructor. Now let us create a rectangle object here by passing some length and breadth. So we will call parameterized constructor. So let us say 10, 5. Now 10, 5 when it's passed, area should be 50. Let us run. Yes, I got the answer as 50. Let me show you this program in debug mode. I'll put a breakpoint here and I will run. So it is on the constructor. Let us see in which constructor it goes. Yeah, it has gone into the parameterized constructor. You can see this one, which is calling set length and breadth. Now set length, it goes into set length. As length is greater than 0, it will set the length and come back and call set breadth, and breadth is greater than 0, it will set the breadth and come back and returns to the main function, and here it will display the area. That's it. So this is how the parameterized constructor is called. Let me remove the arguments from here. No parameters are passed, and let us run the program once again. Now it is in this line. If I debug next step, see, it is entering into non-argument constructor. Earlier it has entered here, but now it is entering into non-argument constructor. So in this line, it will set the length and breadth to 1. Yes, 1. Then it return back to main function to display the area. So we have seen how the constructors are called. Now let me show you one more type of constructor, that is copy constructor. So here I will write down copy constructor, rectangle, which takes a reference of type rectangle R. Then Here I should say length assign r dot length and breadth assign r dot breadth. That's it. So it is copying the length and breadth of the rectangle that is passed into itself. So already I have a rectangle R1 here, so let it be 10, 5, and then I will create one more rectangle R2 by passing R1. And here I will not show the area of R1, but I will show area of R2. So this also I should get the same answer, that is 10, 5. So already I have an object of rectangle. That same object I am using and calling copy constructor to create an object of R2. Then R2 area should also be 10 into 5. Yes, it is 50, so it is 10 into 5. Let me show you this one in debug mode. I will put a breakpoint, then I will run the program. Now first object is already created. Now about the second object, let us see what happens in second object. If I continue into next step, see it has entered into copy constructor, this one, right? This is a copy constructor. Continue, it has copied length, it has copied breadth, and comes back to the main function to display area. So that's it. This is copy constructor. Let us remove the breakpoint. Now I want to show you one more thing. See, instead of writing two constructors, which is non-argument constructor and one is a argument constructor, I can set L assign 1 and B assign 1. So these are default arguments, and when default arguments are given, in case of the absence of the parameters, it will set length and breadth as 1. Let us try to create an object here. So already we have created an object by passing R1, that is 10, 5. Right? So let us see what happens. I have made a default argument constructor, the constructor which is taking default arguments. Let us run this. So we got the answer as 50. So it means I don't need this constructor now. So I will make this constructor as a comment. So I have one constructor which is taking some arguments, and even it works as non-argument constructor. So even if I don't pass any values, then there is a constructor available. So this constructor will be called 1, 1. So the answer is 1. Area is 1. So that's it. So this is how you can write down the constructor. So this default argument constructor is very useful. So you can avoid writing so many overloaded constructor. With one constructor, you can define many constructor by mentioning default arguments. So that's all about constructors.